Today we're in Osaka, Japan, and we're staying in the cheapest hotel next to the airport. Because sometimes your flight is too early but don't want to sleep in the airport. But why is it so much cheaper than the rest? There has to be a good reason, so let's find that out by staying here for the next 24 hours.
So I'm not sure what to expect, but let's go to the cheapest hotel right now.
Because right after taking one of the fastest and bumpiest bus rides in Japan, we arrived at the hotel for the day. And right away you'll be surprised as the lobby was also the restaurant where you could get all-you-can-eat breakfast for a little more than $3. But just a few steps away, you wouldn't believe what you would find. Because for airport hotels in Japan, convenience is the biggest selling point. As you get yourself a whole laundry room where everything looks so new, almost like they just bought it. With a vending machine selling all the tea and coffee you need. Hey, why don't we try this one? Actually, no, let's get the Apple one. And as you can see, it looked just as advertised.
Got to say, I'm really impressed so far.
But if you don't want to eat and drink in the hotel, there's a Japanese Wendy's literally just outside. And I think it's 3 times cheaper than the ones in America. And a supermarket to get all sorts of food you want, including Japanese sushi. Supermarkets in Japan is like heaven, I'm not even kidding.
So we still got some time before we check in, and I got just the best place to show you.
Because Osaka is one of the best cities in Japan to visit with all the fun stuff you could possibly imagine. And some of it could be a little bit weird. Let's just leave it alone. But what we don't have to leave alone was the best Comic-Con ever. But what makes Comic-Con in Japan so awesome, you might ask? Let's see here. The dog from Spy Family was pretty cool. The alien was cool. The food is unlike any other as you can get delicious curry rice and so much more. Brickbuster? That sounds kind of fun since it was a place to see all the massive Lego statues like Spider-Man and something that's a bit controversial right now. But the coolest thing was the car show inside the convention where you get to ride the car from Back to the Future for about $6 or so. But too many people were lining up for that, so I only got the free stuff they were handing out like this baby wipe. But it's free, so no complaints.
So that was totally fun, but now it's time to check out the next one.
And by that, I mean the oldest shrine in this part of Japan, the Tokei Jinja, as it was built more than 1,600 years ago, and the name literally meant fighting chicken, which came from the story of a famous warrior in Japan, letting chickens fight in front of the shrine to decide what to do in the war. I kind of feel bad for the chickens, but people living here also come here all the time to pray for good luck and safe travel on the ocean. But what's really going to surprise you would be the fortune-telling papers in the shrine, which depending on which month you were born, you can pay to get this paper that tells you about your future.
It's hard to imagine that some of those shrines and temples are literally thousands of years old. And as for this one, we'll check it out once we get to the hotel.
Because right now we're checking out the hotel room to find out how great it really is. And the first thing you will notice right away is that it's a single room because many people travel in Japan alone. And so many hotels started offering rooms designed for one person to keep the cost down for the hotel guests. But the quality was totally top notch as the pillow was unbelievably soft. But if you need more than one, you can literally get them for free in the hallway. And that deserves a thumbs up. The same goes for the entire bed as it was big enough for you to roll around like this. But the only way to know if the hotel room is really that good is to check under the mattress. Why is it so heavy? Okay, it looked pretty new and the floor was totally clean enough. And you also have a place to charge your phone directly from your bed, with switches that control the lights in the bedroom, with a tiny alarm to wake you up in case you need to catch a really early flight. And the TV is surprisingly big for the size of the hotel room. The air conditioning was so powerful, you'll be glad you came here even during summer. And bathrobe for you to wear in the hotel with a pocket that was so big you could literally put all the remote controls into it. But since we're in Osaka, Japan, the view outside the window was your typical city view, and the window can only be opened a little bit for some fresh air. But they also warned me about keeping the window open at night, as there are many mosquitoes out there. Totally don't want to have them in the room. The closet was one of those open closets, and the slippers were kind of fancy to wear, especially when walking on the beautiful wooden floor in the room. But what was also as beautiful was the wallpaper they used, and the soundproofing was so good I didn't hear anyone or anything during my stay. Everything else in the room was pretty much as expected, like green tea for you to drink. But what's most surprising to me was inside the fridge. Now I was talking about the garbage bag, as they did encourage me to take out my own trash.
Hey, we almost forgot to check out this thing. So I guess if your birthday's in July too, it also applies to you. Okay, you can see it kind kinda looks like this, which you can see is actually kinda good, but it does say something about wanting us to eat and sleep better. Also, we have something important to say to someone, we have to say it sooner rather than later. That means I have to tell you, thank you for supporting this channel.
But what also needed to be said was literally inside the bathroom, as the toilet was one of those fancy high-tech toilets with all the buttons and the thing for you to turn, which I never figured out what it does. But then you realize the hotel gave you a water cup but didn't give you any water. As I got thirsty from all the jumping jacks and yoga practice, I looked at the only possible water source inside the room. But is it safe to drink?
So the menu thingy inside the hotel actually said the tap water was safe to drink in my room. I guess that's why they didn't give me any water.
That was totally unexpected. I mean, I knew Japan has one of the cleanest tap waters, but this was still pretty cool. And the only thing left to do is to check if the hotel room was clean enough, and I can confidently say it is simply perfect. As for location, it was literally next to the best part of Osaka, Japan, with everything you could possibly see, like this building with a really cute dog, and whatever this is, but it was fun to play.
So what do you think about the cheapest hotel? I gotta say it's really clean and comfortable, and the air conditioner is really strong if you really don't like hot weather. But in a lot of those cheaper hotels in Japan, you gotta do a lot of things yourself, like taking out the trash, and sometimes even making your own bed. But it's literally way cheaper, so it's totally worth it.
And my favorite things about this airport hotel had to be the free pillow, the food you could find outside, and the free shuttle to the airport, which only took a few minutes, so I was able to make it to my flight on time. But next, I'm staying in the cheapest luxury resort in Japan with the best food and hot springs in the world. And you can click on the video right now.